Restream announcing that we were doing this threw me off. I looked down and the chat had this gigantic message and it's just the announcement. And it looks like it's a broken announcement on top of all that. Me. Hello, lifers. And welcome to, I'm not really sure what to call this. Let's watch. Reaction to Bethesda's E3 Showcase. Something along those lines. We did this last year and it was kind of fun. I actually had thought about trying to cover both the Bethesda event and the PC gaming one. Not all that interested in a lot of the consoles, and I'm definitely not going to dedicate all of my free time to covering this stuff. But it so happens that the PC gaming panel, it looks like their presentation or their show is at like the same time tomorrow that I'll be at my physical therapy getting my leg fixed. Oh, here we go. Doing it a little different this year. I'm expecting, obviously, Doom's gonna be the big thing. This is the year of Doom, that's the way they've been promoting it. But I won't be shocked if there's about a dozen different Elder Scrolls related things just to be doing. And some Fallout 76 related stuff because they're trying to save some face.
With a game, there is no game without the players.
Really, it all comes down to you.
みんなと一緒以外は考えられない。
Without you, there is no game.
There's no one to play it.
No one to interact with it.
意味がないよ。
You keep us in check.
And we appreciate that. And through all of it,
You're always there with us.
You are definitely not afraid to tell us how you feel.
Your feedback sometimes challenges us, but it forces us to be always challenging ourselves.
You empathize with us as
Yes, it
developers
would help if you
and with
listened
each other as a community.
sometimes.
It's really beautiful.
I'm sorry, I just...
I'm Dinga Bakaba,
There's some stuff with that Fallout 76 that really rubbed me the wrong way.
my name is Mark Diaz, and when I was 8 years old, I used to sneak over to my buddy's house.
So many people warn them. So many people complain, and we're talking about how short the beta period was.
I'm Dana Cristo, and I started out as a 16-year-old gamer
and now
who
they're
just wanted
saying,
to bring joy to others
well,
through
we
video
might have
games.
made it a little quick.
And now I'm game director at Arcane Studios.
Now I'm a game programmer at id Software.
Now I get to be a part of building that world as the creative director on Elder Scrolls Online.
Now I'm a UI programmer at Bethesda Game Studios, and it's everything I could have dreamed of. I see you.
I see you.
I see you.
We see you.
Because we are you.
And together,
Together?
We are
Is that why
all.
Todd Howard gave me such a weird look at QuakeCon last year? I don't know that it should. I think I ended up cutting it out of the road trip, but I was actually doing the little, they have one of those things, you crank a penny and make it into a little medallion thing. And I was doing that, and Todd Howard and a group of other folks went over to get a picture by their Vault Boy statue. And I didn't even notice until I was watching the footage later. He made a weird look at me. I would like to say that I've got some pretty big, expectations for this this E3, but I don't really. Obviously, they're going to hit Doom Eternal pretty heavy here. It's going to be the main thing. I expect kind of the usual Elder Scrolls, Online, Elder Scrolls Legend, Elder Scrolls Blade, Elder Scrolls Moneymaker 2, The Search for More Money, microtransaction the game, you know. Probably talk a little bit about Fallout 76 and what they're planning there. They've already shown their roadmap a couple of times, and they've got some interesting plans in the progress in the future.
Feel good?
It has.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank everyone watching around the world to tuning in to watch our 5th annual E3 Showcase. This is a night dedicated to those who love games, who love the incredible entertainment that games provide. This past year, you fought demons on Mars and Nazis in America. You were assassins in the Empire, adventurers in Tamriel, and survivors, a lot of us, and survivors in the Wasteland. And you've embarked on these amazing adventures on PC, console, VR, mobile, or wherever and however you choose to play. And that's the key. You take the worlds that we create and you make them yours. You share your experiences with other players, with friends, and with family. With our games, you've built large global communities that truly matter.
How about some Fallout 76
This year, we want to give special recognition
support
to the extraordinary Bethesda community. As you saw in our opening video, you mean everything to us. I've almost been at this company for 20 years. And when I first started...
I'm being a little bit petty, but like I said, a couple of things kind of irritated in that regard. I like Fallout 76, I really do.
When I first
it's a fun game, but there's so many things that could be
moderating the community forums,
either done better
and keeping you up to date on our games.
At least
it was a great way to start my career at Bethesda because it was the perfect reminder of why we do what we do. And like so many others at Bethesda, I've spent a lot of time with you at events around the world. I've enjoyed meeting so many of you and getting your thoughts and feedback. So tonight, we'll be taking time throughout the show to hear directly from some of you in the Bethesda community. We are thrilled tonight to show our fans the lineup of great games we've been creating just for you, including the premiere of some exciting new games, and we'll go deep on Doom Eternal.
Cool. Yeah, I expect Doom Eternal to get some heavy-duty promotion.
So, if you're ready, let's kick it off and to get an update from our friends at one of the most celebrated development studios in the world,
I'm on
Bethesda
a
Game Studios.
very wait and
Please
see as to
welcome
whether I
studio
can go,
head
but
and my
I
good
sure
friend,
wish I could go.
Todd Howard.
You know, if I can, I will. Todd Howard.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's this little group of 5 people off to one side over there.
Had an incredibly exciting year at Bethesda Game
Stood
Studios.
up to give him a standing ovation.
Given some of that excitement, impressed you're still here.
Give me a raise! Give me a raise!
Actually, over the last year, we've had over 60 million players in our games, our most ever. And it's all of you
logging in over and over again.
It's all of you who have made these worlds what they are. Take Fallout 76.
Please, we need the money.
A type of game we'd never done before. Had a lot of difficulties at launch. And
no
we
kidding.
got a lot of well-deserved criticism.
But he read about it online, didn't you know?
But the team kept working on it, and you kept playing it. And through all of that, something amazing has happened. It's thanks to all of you.
Legitimately, I was hoping for
one of the best online communities we've ever seen.
Todd to come out and
we made a post-apocalyptic
what,
survival game where you can do whatever you want, and everybody's nice to each other.
It's been years ago
they
now.
Don't
whenever
go on
Rage
killing
1
griefing sprees.
came out,
they leave food and water for
it
the
had a
newbies
really
and wave
bad
to each
launch,
other.
a
I don't
really
know
rough
about you.
launch on PC
This should give us
especially.
all hope for humanity when the apocalypse does
And,
come.
I still remember they actually came out at QuakeCon and straight apologize for it.
And we have a lot more in store this
That
year for Fallout 76.
means a lot more to me
first,
than
our latest
it was
game,
bad,
The
but
Elder
now
Scrolls
we've got it
Blades,
fixed.
is in early access. And thanks to all of you, it became our second straight #1 mobile game after Fallout Shelter. Absolutely incredible.
I'm trying
And
to
to
do the
tell
math
you
for
what's
the
coming to Blades,
second
let
straight
me introduce
#1
project leader
after
Craig
Fallout
Lafferty and
Shelter.
art director Matt Carafano.
Thanks, Todd. It's great to be here at E3. And thanks again to all of you for making Blades #1.
As someone who's worked on the Elder Scrolls for 20 years, it's been incredible to bring this world to your phones in an all-new way. We still love those classic dungeon crawlers, and it's clear you do as well.
Taking a look at the
And whether you're exploring a dungeon or rebuilding your
like
town,
the Twitch
it's great
chat
to be able to
on
do
their
it
channel
wherever
right
you
now.
are.
Since it's E3, we're releasing our biggest update yet, featuring all new jobs and
It's
solo
about what you would
arena
expect.
battles, an all new custom jewelry system,
A lot of
and a brand
Twitch
new
emotes
dragon quest line.
being repeated 10 times over. And stuff like, ew, Blades.
It has even more, but best of all, it's coming out tonight.
They come out in force for this stuff.
So, download free tonight and give it a try.
And we're also hard at work on our arena mode.
What
for
goober
this
down
fall
in the
that will feature
audience just
PvP,
yelled out,
your own
"Yes, sir."
guild, and visiting your friends' towns. But most exciting this year, we're also bringing Blades to an all-new platform, Switchblades.
You know, I think that was meant to either get a laugh or a cheer, and he didn't get either. Assuming this is, you know, proper footage, it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, assuming that was actual in-game on the Switch, that looks really good.
Yes, Blades is coming this fall to the Nintendo Switch, and yes, it's still free.
There is some guy over this way who
Blades
just
is
yelled,
the
"Oh
perfect
my
fit for
god!"
the Switch. You can
There
play
is somebody
on the go,
that is
on your
already
TV,
drunk
and with motion controls.
on this side of the
But best of
auditorium.
all, it's cross-play and cross-progression with the mobile version. So you can start tonight on mobile, and all your progress will carry over. And it's playable here at E3 in our booth and Nintendo's.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd to have really good headset and to hear this sort of thing in stereo. I can actually hear
And for those of you playing
which
on
direction
mobile, we also have some special
the drunk
rewards
guy
for both
is.
our Apple and Google players this week. So download tonight and let us know what you think. Thanks again.
Now, let me introduce Jeff and Tom to tell you what's coming to Fallout 76.
Yeah, I was figuring they would have something. They want to tell you about what they're adding in. Because they do have some interesting plans coming. I kind of expect to hear about the new...
Hi, I'm Project Leader Jeff Gardner.
The
and
new
I'm Co-Studio Director Tom Mustang.
PvP game mode song.
On behalf of everyone at Bethesda Game Studios, we want to thank the millions of you who have played with us, stuck with us, and helped shape the world of Fallout 76.
Absolutely. It's incredible what the game has become. You've told us how much you've loved this year's updates so far, from camp building, legendary weapons,
I gotta tell
player
you,
vending,
it is
and of course,
a fun
the
game, but
dreaded
you know
sheep
what? I want to
squatch.
see more of.
We've
I want to
also
see
been
more
working
of that
on our biggest update
Fashnacht
yet.
type
It's
event
called
where it was a special
Wastelanders.
event for a week,
And it will
where
fundamentally
basically
change
people
the game.
just every hour would go to this one place and do like a parade and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Some time since Vault 76 opened its door. And we all discovered that Appalachia isn't quite what it used to be. We encountered a lot of things. Overcame a lot of things. I don't think any of us expected for people to actually actually come back.
Are you from that vault? Can you help us?
They are adding in NPCs.
We've traveled pretty far.
I hope they're serious about
There's
this.
hope here in Appalachia. Folk rebuilding.
I really hope they're serious about this.
We'll fight too, right by your side.
NPCs would give so much life to that game.
And the one thing we've learned is this. You gotta claim the waste.
You know, they have the robots and they have a few like mutants and things like that, but the personality is in their humans and ghouls.
With them.
New main quest, huh? But it's not until the fall. Wastelanders,
right.
huh?
That's right. Human NPCs are coming to Fallout 76.
Thank goodness. That will breathe a lot of life, a lot of personality into the game.
Not just NPCs.
I am really glad to hear that.
But a full quest line, new rewards, and as you saw, full dialogue trees.
Thank you.
This is a long-term story we're telling. Year one was about the vault doors opening and
I actually
all of
do plan to go back and play some more and stream some more Fallout 76. I've just been trying to get some videos edited first.
Like previous Fallout games, these characters have their own stories and goals. It's up to you to choose how to interact with them and live with those consequences.
The Wastelanders update is coming this fall and will be free for all Fallout 76 players.
Good. That is a welcome addition.
And in the spirit of free, we're doing something special just for E3. Fallout 76 is going to have a free trial for everyone starting tomorrow.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's right. It's the perfect time to see what Fallout 76 and its growing community have become. We can't wait to welcome all of you. And because so many of you are going to be joining us, we thought we'd also give you a sneak peek this week at an all-new game mode. Check it out.
Explosions!
Currently, there is no overseer of Vault 51.
Yeah.
Perhaps
I expected to see this.
We are in serious need of leadership, so I have devised a unique process of elimination.
For folks who are into PvP, this will be probably pretty welcome. Me, I'm not that into it. If I want to play PvP, I'm going to go play Quake Champions.
Should prove interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. And this is where they've talked about it being squad possible gameplay.
There can only be one overseer. Good luck.
52-player battle royale, yeah. I understand why they're doing
we
it.
put a battle royale in Fallout 76. That's right. Nuclear Winter is a battle royale born from the Fallout universe. From power armor to perk cards, from camp building to contending with wasteland creatures, and of course, my personal favorite, nukes. It's a great free addition to
I
an
understand
already
why they're
huge
adding
game.
that.
We love playing it, and we think you
Not
will
only
too.
do I expect it to be a rough launch, just like everything else, I will probably never play it. I just don't care for the Battle Royale stuff.
Know what you think. Remember,
unless I can get a group together to play with,
including Nuclear Winter, is free
I'll stick to adventure
try
mode.
this week on
That's
all
just me.
platforms.
It's like I say, it's just, you know, one nice thing about it is it gives like 3 or 4 different game modes now.
Thanks again.
You've got a couple of different PvP options plus adventure mode. You know, so that is a positive.
Everything we've talked
doesn't
about
mean
that's
much to
coming
me.
this year is free. We get to represent hundreds of passionate developers across 4 studio locations in North America working on multiple projects.
There's like a little menu floating behind
we're
my
still
head
hard at
over
work
here.
on our next-gen
I don't know
RPG,
what this thing
Starfield,
is.
and of course,
Actually, this
Elder
way.
Scrolls 6. We know how precious these game worlds are to all of you, and they are to us. We know the time you spend in them is important. Keep telling us what you love, what you'd like to see us do better. Thank you again, everybody, for your
Mod support.
But really, even more so, I want to thank everybody for believing in us. Thank you.
Custom servers. That's what I want, man. I would love to have a BWL Fallout 76 server.
Tango Gameworks, Mr.
Make a few tweaks to, you know, what is what. My own little settings, you know. I could see that being a lot of fun. I could certainly see a QuakeCon forums one as well, and you know, there's a lot more opportunities with that.
I'd like to start by greeting my team in Tokyo. It's Monday morning there, but they are watching. みんなおはようございます。今日真面目にやるよ。
That dude is right back here.
Tonight, I am excited to announce the next game from Tango. Ghostwire Tokyo. It is an action-adventure
Show me
game
what you
in which
got.
you will fight paranormal enemy and rid the city of supernatural evil. I think you'll love it.
There's some employee over here that is seriously drunk and trying way too hard.
Here is creative director at Tango, Ikumi Nakamura.
I don't even know if it's loud enough on the recording or on the stream for you to hear. I can hear him.
Wow, so many people. Wow, thank you. ありがとうございます。And such a big stage makes me nervous. I'll do my best to speak in English. We are making a new kind of action-adventure game. It's spooky. But not the survival horror game that we are known for. People are vanishing in Tokyo. You must find out why. You will encounter conspiracies and the occult. You have to explore the world, face challenges to uncover the truth and save humanity. In the game, you will meet spirits, some dangerous, some peaceful, and survivors that each have their stories. You will need to ask yourself, is this normal or paranormal? I ask myself this question every time I go to the office. Just kidding. Just kidding, just kidding. We are very excited. Let's take a look. 見てね. Thank you. Bye bye.
I'm curious about this. I don't play that many, you know, survival horror type games, but there's certain ones, they're done well enough and they're interesting enough that I'd at least be willing to consider it. Right now, this doesn't look like in-game footage. This looks like a pre-rendered trailer.
Don't fear the unknown. Attack it.
So my thoughts on that. It's a neat looking trailer, but I didn't see any of that actually looked like gameplay, so that was an announcement trailer and a
when I'm not playing Bethesda games, I work as a mechanical engineer.
I work in a
I
hospital.
didn't really get a taste for what that game is.
I'm an electrician.
I'm an event planner.
Looks
in real life, I'm a
interesting.
systems administrator.
Program assistant for a private school for children with autism.
I'm trying to be an artist. I like to think of myself as one.
Make like back-end systems that it's really boring.
Maybe permanently or temporarily, I'm a full-time streamer.
I got a YouTube channel.
I make my own yarn.
I'm a social worker.
Teaching inmates.
I'm a game developer.
Working at a video game cafe.
I've been a Doom fan since the game came out. I remember being in the 8th grade and a buddy of mine giving me the shareware demo on 3.5-inch floppy disks.
My older brother picked up Fallout 3, and I took his copy and played it when he wasn't home.
Fallout 4. Oh my gosh, that's like my baby.
The scope of that game was just like a lot bigger than things I was used to.
Just setting foot in Shimmering, the first city that you go to in Somerset, it was amazing.
You would look out and you'd be like, oh, I want to go there. And then you could go there, which was wild.
Go out into the world, go in any direction that you want to go.
The exploration and the weirdness and the alienness of it.
I played Oblivion. I tell you, it probably saved my life.
It was one of my first experiences with a fantasy world that was that immersive.
Love the dragons. Scattered the dragons.
You take down a dragon, you can definitely take down any illness.
Don't ever stop adding dragons to your game. Add dragons to Fallout. Add dragons to Rage. Add dragons to everything. Mecha dragons. More dragons.
I'm sorry, no.
Please welcome studio director.
Add it where it actually belongs. Don't get carried away. The bats are basically dragons as it is. They fart green stuff and breathe green stuff, and that's about it.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Wow. Thank you. Yeah! And I just want to shout out to our friend Greg there, the one in the video that really loves dragons. I'm happy to say, Greg, The Elder Scrolls Online has dragons.
Did they not before?
Right now, in fact, players
I
are
haven't
deep
actually
into the
played
season
that
of
game.
the dragon, our year-long story about greed, revenge, cat people, and of course, dragons. Tonight's focus on the community resonates with me and everyone at ZeniMax Online Studios because ESO literally would not exist without you. Watching you play the game, streaming, telling stories, hearing your feedback.
I actually have a copy of Elder Scrolls Online here somewhere. Like It's still in the packaging that I got at FadeCon a couple of years ago. I just never have installed it. Never have even opened it.
Thank you for making ESO the extraordinary adventure it is today. The past year has been a huge success for ESO. More Game of the Year awards, millions more players have joined. So many, in fact, that we recently added more server capacity just to support all the new players in Tamriel.
That's really good, but this is something that Bethesda has gotten really bad about doing in the past year.
And better.
They quote all the millions of players that are joining their games, that are playing Fallout 76. What they're not telling us is how many people left the game whenever it didn't launch the way they wanted it to.
As well as Control the Dead as the new Necromancer
Believe
class.
me, there are not millions of people running amok in Fallout 76.
The perfect starting point for new players. When we announced Season of the Dragon, we kicked it off by showing you a video about how dragons were unleashed on Elsewhere, and we ended with a cliffhanger. Now, I'm really excited to show you what happens next. Check out the world premiere.
That voice did not go with that face. Again, I appreciate, the money that went into making a good, well-rendered, pre-rendered trailer, but I'd like to see some gameplay. I'd like to see people actually doing some of this stuff. I'm making a big deal out of this guy. The hell? Lord, this is going on for a while. I'm looking to see how many of the chat comments on the Bethesda Twitch are something about it being better than the Game of Thrones final season. Because that's going up in there. That was a really long bit of nothing.
That's right, another cliffhanger. You may have recognized the return of Sai Sahan, the legendary Redguard Swordmaster. He's the legendary Redguard Swordmaster you met as part of the original 5 companions. He's back as the leader of the Dragon Guard, a group of dragon hunting warriors you've seen in other Elder Scrolls games. He'll be featured in our 4th quarter story DLC named Dragonhold, which will complete the season of the dragon. We've got a lot more to share about the return of Sai and the Dragon Guard, which will unveil at QuakeCon later this summer.
Of course.
Before then, keep an eye out for a dungeon DLC adventure called Scalebreaker, which you'll see in August. Thank you so much for your support of the Elder Scrolls Online. We're humbled by your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm for the game motivates us every day. You guys are seriously awesome. Thank you.
The thing is, as long as Elder Scrolls Online has been out, I haven't seen that much footage of it. You have to go and look at actual Twitch streamers and things like that to see somebody playing that game. I'd like to see some actual gameplay of what they're doing here.
We have several other projects, one of which we're ready to reveal.
Who knows, if the gameplay's interesting enough, I might be interested in playing it, you know?
And to tell us all about it is the game's creative director.
They're going to show me a mini-movie instead. I really do sound like I'm frustrated with them this year, don't I?
Hi, everyone. And now, for something completely different. Imagine a classic Saturday morning cartoon in free-to-play mobile game form. Let's take a look.
Seriously? I had no idea that was coming. That looks actually interesting and, you know, like something promising.
So there's a new branch on Commander Keen's family tree, and they're heading to iOS and Android. If you're hearing about Commander Keen for the first time, it was one of the first PC action games created by id Software in the early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, you know,
boy genius
how good that one
whose
works.
alter ego Commander Keen protected Earth. All of us at ZeniMax Online Studios want to give a really big thanks to our friends at id for trusting us to deliver our modern take on this classic game. So, tonight, as we introduce Commander Keen to a new generation of players, we're also introducing the next generation of heroes. Meet Billy. And Billy. Twin geniuses who follow in their famous father's footsteps. The new commanders are, of course, funny and powerful, but the game is also full of enemies, allies, and some really bad guys. The twins build wacky gadgets from household items to save the Earth from certain alien destruction. Drag and drop gadgets to summon allies, attack enemies, and move through the environment. Choose from a caboodle of contraptions to conquer challenges. And try saying that 5 times fast. The twins go on adventures in story mode, which tells some of the classic Commander Keen tales, as well as a whole bunch of brand new ones. In story mode, you'll overcome aliens, collect power-ups, and explore Mars and beyond. You can also go helmet to helmet with other players in battle mode, a real-time, head-to-head race through an alien landscape where you need to control checkpoints and claim the flag to gain ultimate victory. Commander Keen will soft launch this summer on iOS and Android phones.
It looks interesting, but at the same time, I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping from what they showed in that trailer that it would be a side scroller.
Pre-register to receive
that you'd
unique
actually have some
in-game rewards
platforming,
and hot
and that
Commander
doesn't
Keen
look as
launch
much like
updates.
that.
We really can't wait
Be
to kick
curious
some
to see,
asteroid.
because it looks
with
like
you
it
all.
has potential to be a really enjoyable little mobile game.
Thank you, Kira.
But I'd kind of like to see a Commander Keen platform
we,
arena.
like you, love mobile games. In addition to Blades and the upcoming Commander Keen, millions of you have enjoyed Fallout Shelter, which has now reached over 150 million downloads and counting.
Fun little game.
For fans of
Still
collectible
kind of
card
prefer
games, we
playing it
brought
on
the Elder
PC,
Scrolls
though.
Legends to mobile, so you could experience the Elder Scrolls in a new way. This year, the Legends
Haven't
community
played it.
has continued
I
to
don't
grow
really do the
thanks to a
card
lot
game
of
thing.
upgrades, new features, and new content. It's a great experience for a night of gaming or a quick match over a cup of coffee.
Kill him! Why is there a crab going down the stairs and drunk? You killed the wrong guy. He's over here.
Make your play.
I couldn't read what that said. Damn it, Danny!
See?
I've actually been waiting to say that one.
If you enjoy other card games but are looking for something that provides a little deeper challenge, you can download Legends for free on the App Store and begin playing tonight. Legends' next expansion, Moons of Elsewhere, will be available on June 27th for PC, Mac, mobile, and tablet. You can head over to Bethesda.net to get a glimpse at the new cards and content, or play it this week in our booth. I'll
Hey,
see you
Techno.
there, clapping. Now, speaking of new content, 3 weeks ago, we released Rage 2, and now Insanity Rules.
Yeah, it's they've already shown the trailer of it.
Insanity Rules for millions of players around
It was
the world.
one of the
But
first
we
things
wanted
that
to do more than
they
just
showed was
deliver
the.
a critically
It's like a
acclaimed
52
open world
player
shooter.
battle royale.
We've already added community
Game mode.
challenges that reward you just for having fun in the wasteland, and we've got a lot more planned with new features rolling
They also
out
announced that they're
this
adding
week. The world of Rage
NPCs,
2 will become even more
human
unpredictable
NPCs,
and even more insane.
back into
Take a look.
Fallout 76. Basically, the collapsing ring in that one is a big wall of fire, a firestorm or something like that. The way that they've shown it, what they're supposed to be doing is I don't know if it's supposed to be like a simulation or what it is, but it has to do with Vault 51. they're supposed to have some sort of a deal where I guess you can play it in, you know, alone or with a group of 4 as a team. And then as you go along, you upgrade, and it's all in the idea that you're trying to become the new overseer.
That's my next tattoo.
I intended to pick this one up. I forgot it was coming out. Now it's just going to have to wait until I have the chance to save up some money.
I got a tremendous surprise for you all.
Please welcome executive producer at Machine Games, Jörg Gustafsson.
What are we going to say about Wolfenstein?
Hello, everyone. After liberating America from the Nazi scum in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, this year we take you back to Europe with 2 new Wolfenstein games. First, we are bringing Nazi killing into virtual reality with Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. As a hacker working for the French resistance, you will take control of Nazi war machines and turn them against their creators. Cyberpilot will be available this July, and it's playable this week in our E3 booth.
It's pretty good from what they're showing in the background there.
And if you haven't
don't know if it'd actually play that way or not,
you
but
don't
it looks
know what you are missing.
interesting.
But as I
I know
have
some people have
2
played the Doom
new Wolfenstein games.
VR game, and
This summer
they've
we are
enjoyed it.
going to be launching Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah, that's the one I was actually thinking about.
With a gameplay experience that is bigger than any previous Wolfenstein game. You will have more weapons and weapon upgrades than ever before, more ways to customize your playstyle, and, of course, even more evil Nazis to kill. And in Youngblood, you can kill those Nazis with a friend.
Something weird in the way he said that.
Yes, Wolfenstein is going co-op. Youngblood is
See,
set
that
in the
I think is an
1980s,
interesting
2
take on
decades
things.
after
That's
the
an
New
interesting
Colossus.
opportunity.
B.J. Blazkowicz is missing in Nazi-occupied Paris, and it's up to his twin daughters, Jess and Soph, to track him down. In Youngblood, you can still play by yourself, or you can partner with a pal to double up on shooting, stabbing, and killing Nazis.
But see, I would, if I were to get that one, I would want to play it in co-op. That would actually be more fun, I think.
Paris, Nazi country. That's where Papa is, so that's where we're going.
We can find him together.
I may have an assignment suitable for 2 Nazi killers such as yourselves.
stewardesses.
Come to think of it, I haven't played, I think I've got one or two of the other games and I haven't played them yet. They're in my inventory on Steam, I just haven't installed them and played them. Well, I'm not going to come up with the money to pick it up that quickly, so... July 26th.
Wolfenstein Youngblood releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on July 26th. And if you can't wait, stop by our E3 booth to play this week. Thank you. And now, I'd like to welcome to the stage my dear friends from Arcane Lyon, who worked with us on these two Wolfenstein games, Dinga and Sebastian.
We love you too.
Hi, I'm Dinga Bakaba, I'm game director at Arcane Lyon.
Bonsoir, I'm Sébastien Mitton, art director in the same studio.
So, along with partnering with our good friends at Machine Games on Wolfenstein, we've been working on other projects at Arcane Lyon. And tonight, we're excited to announce our latest first-person action game. It's something innovative, stylish, and different from anything we've done before.
Let me begin by saying bienvenue to the frozen island of Black Reef. This is a place of mystery, where looks can kill. The game takes place during what we say in French is a période de folie, a time of madness.
And now that we've given you a small taste of the world, let us introduce you to our two deadly rivals, Colt and Juliana.
This place isn't a paradise. It's a prison. Out here, we're trapped.
We're free.
In this endless.
I hope they're not about to do the purely pre-rendered trailer thing again. Let me see what the gameplay actually looks like, guys.
My life's purpose is on this island.
And I can't let this go on any longer. The more days I repeat,
The longer that I'm out here,
the more certain I am
of what I have to do. The only way to protect the cycle,
the only way to break the cycle,
is to kill you.
This guy seems to die a lot.
Time is on my side.
Death loop, huh? I don't know. I'm not sure I understand what's going on with that game.
Deathloop combines a mind-bending story with meticulously designed levels and, of course, arcane signature gameplay that lets you approach every situation any way you like. Because in the endless clash between these two extraordinary assassins, how you play is up to you.
Plus, I think it's really fucking cool. Excuse my French.
Yeah, maybe you should have said that in French, actually.
Maybe not.
But it's also pretty fucking true. Because we will take you on a trip unlike any other, and we really hope that you enjoy the ride.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
There was a lot of cringe in that one.
It's a wonderful way to get away from all the pressures in life.
I think the sense of community has really helped me as a person because I'm typically very isolated.
It's definitely very confidence building.
It's brought me out of my shell and stopped being an introvert.
I could be a hero and do all these things.
You find really creative, really fun, really talented people.
Meet people who are in my group that I've only known as a character.
Probably made more friends online than I have in real life.
The games that you bring out just helps people, honestly.
My parents were refugees from the Vietnam War, which is why I'm also fascinated by elements of war.
Playing these games just kind of put me out of the worry and the stress.
I was in a dark place for a while, and I told myself I wasn't going to be there anymore. And so now the only dark places that I'm allowed to go are in dungeons and ESO.
Just being someone who is LGBT, it's nice to be able to sit down and play these games and feel accepted for who I am.
It's really nice to see that their storyline has some sort of emotional effect on me as a player.
And I just really admire the creativity that goes into the process of making these big worlds with these amazing stories.
Building these fantastic worlds and telling these stories comes from a passion to deliver the very best experiences for our players. Hi, I'm James Altman, Director of Publishing at Bethesda.
Oh boy.
And I'm Robert Duffy, Chief Technology Officer at id Software. Tonight we have some exciting new technology to show you that can dramatically improve gaming for millions.
So for the past 2 decades, we've approached game development not by looking at what is possible today, but with a vision of what can be possible tomorrow. And at Bethesda, we're proud of our legacy of innovation, where again and again we've changed the industry. We were the first to use physics-based engines for sports games. We were groundbreakers with Go Anywhere, Do Anything, open-world RPGs. We are the inventors of the first-person shooter, which is now the world's most popular form of gaming. We are pioneers in downloadable content and the first to bring mods to consoles. And actually, since we first brought mods to consoles in 2016, there have been 1 billion mod downloads for Fallout and Skyrim.
So add mod support to Fallout 76.
We, of course, developed the first commercially viable VR technology revealed in our E3 booth in 2012. Yes, that is the original VR headset held together by tape and worn by our very own Tim Willits.
Tim Willits, yeah. Recognize that head.
And of course, we are well known as developers of best-in-class engine technology with our id Tech engine.
Excuse me.
Innovation and creativity is in our DNA, and all of these advances were done with one goal in mind: to improve player experiences. So tonight, we have exciting new technology to announce.
You already said that. Get to the point.
Of years of research and development. Cutting-edge game engine-based technology we've developed specifically for game streaming.
Now, we'd like to introduce you to Orion.
Streaming, huh?
Orion is a tremendous breakthrough in streaming technology. It is our name for a group of patented technologies that optimize game engines for performance in a cloud environment. Orion can work with any game engine and will improve player experiences no matter which game you're playing or whether you're streaming on Stadia, on xCloud, or another streaming platform. So, how does Orion work?
The exciting game streaming services you've been hearing so much about have largely focused on hardware solutions to address the complex challenges of streaming. There's a lot of words. We used our expertise in developing game engine software and took a different approach. By incorporating Orion technology at the game engine level, we're able to stream game content up to 20% faster per frame, leading to a dramatic reduction in latency. In addition, an Orion-enabled game can stream with up to 40% lower bandwidth. And happily, for game developers, Orion technology is easy to integrate with your game build with our SDK.
But what does that mean for you? It means that streaming games will be faster and better with Orion. And Orion substantially reduces the cost of streaming for players and for publishers. So it won't matter if your friends and family are sucking up all the bandwidth or if you live far away from a data center. With
That's not
Orion,
really a problem for me.
You'll still be able to stream your game at
I'm
max
paying a very
settings.
larger sum of money to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now, as with any new computer technology, one must ask the question, can it play Doom?
Good question. Can it stream an unrelenting, fluid, first-person shooter with native 4K resolution at 60 frames per second? Let's see.
I'd like to introduce Shale Williams, tech specialist from id Software, who is showing you just that here live on stage.
So Shale is streaming an Orion-enabled Doom 2016 right now to that mobile device. As you can see, there is no reduction in visual fidelity. That's Doom at 60 frames per second without perceptible latency. And we want you all to experience this powerful streaming technology yourself as we test and refine it. So for a chance to be among the first in the world to stream Doom 2016 for free, all you need to do is join the Doom Slayers Club by registering at slayersclub.com tonight.
I already did that.
Everybody could use a little more Doom in their lives.
And we'll see you in hell.
It's an interesting concept, but why play it on a phone this big when I can use a monitor this big and actually put hands on a keyboard and a mouse?
What you interfere with now is bigger than you can imagine. If you continue, you will bring down the heavens' wrath. It is written. It is their time to give penance. You are but one man. They are no longer your people to save.
I'm curious what that last part was because they pulled it away.
That was awesome. This is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm Marty Stratton, the executive producer of Doom Eternal.
And I'm...
Thank you.
And I'm Hugo Martin, the game's creative director.
As you just saw, we're not just building a world for Doom, it's an entire universe. Earth is on the brink of annihilation.
Yeah, in terms of games that I most am excited about for the next year, it's Doom Eternal.
To locations never seen before in Doom, from heaven and hell to the Sentinel homeworld and beyond.
Yeah. There is so much to see and discover, but Doom is first and foremost about gameplay. And Doom Eternal promises to be the ultimate power fantasy. The fun comes from mastering the experience because you are the Doom Slayer, the strongest, fastest demon killer in existence, and nothing can stand in your way.
Absolutely. Of
Enough
course,
talk, let's
the
see it.
challenge in Doom is all about handcrafted combat, but also engaging level design. And in Doom Eternal, the game always has something that's new to throw at you, even deep into the campaign. Let's take a look.
Did they seriously add the little lava ball things from Super Mario Brothers? That was a big explosive barrel. I feel like it should have blown up bigger than that.
Thanks. You know, it's so important to us at id Software that every aspect of the gameplay has real meaning to you, the player. Every enemy is different, every weapon has a purpose, and every decision you make really counts. The only path to victory in Doom Eternal is to aggressively control the fight with amazing agility, powerful guns, and critical resources.
That's right, I'll tell you,
For the love of
we
God,
absolutely
keep moving.
can't wait for you to play it.
See so many people
Some
just
of
come
you
to a
won't
stop
have to
because
wait
they've
too
never
long.
played a Doom game before.
If you are lucky enough to be in the room tonight, you'll have a chance to play it immediately following the show. And for those not here, but at E3 this week, we'll have Doom Eternal playable in the Bethesda booth all week.
Yeah. But enough talk. Let's see how it all comes together.
Said that like 10 minutes ago,
watch
dude.
as this perfect killing machine goes to work.
Charting a flight path to Mars. Calculating thrust vectors.
Vega.
Launching in 3, 2, 1. Approaching planetary entry phase. Prepare for turbulence.
Nice. really like the destructible demon stuff. It was one of the things they talked about during their panel last year at QuakeCon. Pain Elemental, did he just throw out the little lost souls? Is that the way it used to be? Oh! Looked like a one-up behind him there. Armor. I'm gonna live that stupid blade. Slipgate. That's interesting. For those of you that don't know, the reason that the word Slipgate got my attention.
Thanks.
That's a Quake thing.
All right. That was classic. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks. We're so excited because the gameplay that you just saw is just a piece of what you're going to play this week at E3. Yeah. But I bet a lot of you are wondering, when do we get to play Doom Eternal at our home?
Well, you don't have to wait too much longer. Not quite tomorrow. But Doom Eternal will release on November 22nd.
Holiday release for me.
We're very excited about that, and we've got something really special for Doom fans. An amazing collector's edition we're really proud of.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an actual helmet. Yeah, you could wear that thing.
Will it suffocate you?
This guy's already got it.
That's right.
Already a badass.
He's already got one on.
All right, well, we've got one more thing we know that you've been waiting to hear about. Our totally new Doom multiplayer experience. We call it Battle Mode. We've been developing this in-house at id, and it's unlike anything you've played before.
Yeah, we've been so pumped at id to share this with you. This is pure Doom.
In-house is an interesting statement.
Where two player-controlled demons
Of course, the last one.
take on one fully loaded Slayer in a fight to the death. This is a first-person fighter where it's demon strategy versus Slayer skill.
You know, we can't wait because we know you'll love the different play styles of the various demons because each has unique movement, attacks, and abilities.
They can even spawn AI demons to control the battlefield and help you take down the Slayer. It's strategic, competitive, and it's a ton of fun. And we can't wait to share more details with you this year at QuakeCon.
Yeah, I figured that's what he was about to
more to
say.
share at QuakeCon, but before we go, we do want to take a first look at Doom Eternal's new multiplayer. On behalf of our amazing team at id in Dallas and Frankfurt, Germany, we want to thank you all so much for your support.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, let's see this.
Fight. Demon health critical. Slayer health critical. Slayer killed. Round 2. Final round. Fight.
Not sure what I think about that. You know, it looks interesting.
Another round of applause, please, for Marty Hugo and all of our presenters tonight.
I'm really not sure what I think about that.
Around the globe that have worked
Sitting
so
here
hard on the
thinking on
great
it.
games you've seen tonight, we say thank you. 2019 marks 25 years of Doom. So to celebrate, we will be going all out with Doom at QuakeCon this summer. We're adding a whole host of panels and activities dedicated to Doom, which we call DoomCon. Yeah, see what we did there? We took out the Quake and put Doom in. We hope you can come hang out with us in Dallas at our inaugural event in London. If you can't, please tune in online. Until then, go to Bethesda.net for more info on all the games you saw tonight. If you're here at E3 this week, we'll have hands-on with many of our games, so be sure to stop by our booth. In the meantime, thanks for playing, thanks for watching, and thanks to all of you for being part of the Bethesda community. Have a great night.
At Bethesda, we're in the business of creating heroes.
超クールな敵もね。
But the true hero is you.
It's like we hand you this malleable clay and you do these extraordinary things that we never could have imagined.
We get to build these worlds and these communities, and you all come in and you play, and you bring these worlds that we create to life.
You help us build richer worlds.
みんなのおかげで助かってます。
You add meaning to everything we do.
We are glad you're here.
We're so glad you're here.
To the heroes.
ヒーローたちに乾杯。
To the heroes.
À la vôtre.
Shit, I don't have a drink.
To you.
All right. Well, to sort of wrap up on my end, really still, I think what I'm looking most forward to out of everything they showed would be Doom Eternal. That's, kind of a given, I guess. It's just that Doom in particular is one of the first games that I actually played. Doom 2 was kind of where I got started with PC gaming back in high school. And, that led to the Quake games. That led to the Half-Life games, So, just having a Doom title is one of those things I'm kind of, happy about, but it looks so promising, and I'm really excited about the concept of the destructible demons, and it's in general looks like a really entertaining game, and I'm really looking forward to that. As far as the other stuff, I could see Wolfenstein, Young Blood, or whatever it is, being an entertaining one. In particular with the co-op, and I could see doing a double plays, run through that game. But it's going to be a while. I have to wait until I have a partner to do that with, too. Plus the money to make it happen. As far as, Fallout 76, I am so glad that they are adding in human NPCs. I hope when they say human, they also mean ghoul as well. I'm still kind of disappointed that they didn't just incorporate some ghouls from the beginning. I mean, that would have made some degree of sense, wouldn't it? They didn't have to have humans specifically, but just robots. The wasteland feels really. I mean, it's dead. I mean that's kind of what they're going for with that particular storyline. But it's a little too dead, as many people as you can play with in a given server, you don't see them a lot. It's one of those things that I kind of welcome the change. There's so many more opportunities, especially when you're doing stories and stuff, for a character that you can actually have a dialogue tree with. And so many opportunities for that to go in a weird way. So we'll have to wait and see. There are going to be some interesting bugs, I think, and there are going to be some interesting people interacting, especially if you're in a squad of 4. Some interesting interactions during dialogue trees, I can imagine. As far as the Battle Royale mode is concerned, that had been rumored for quite a while, and if you follow any of these guys that specifically cover Bethesda's games or Fallout's games, they've been talking about that for a while. It's been both speculated and there's been a lot of stuff that just with some, digging in the game files and that sort of thing, some evidence ahead of time that was coming. And it is what people were expecting. It is a Battle Royale game mode. I understand why they're doing it, but it really holds no interest to me. Even the PvP game mode doesn't really hold any interest to me. Like I said, I think I'll stick with adventure mode. What I do like about it is that it gives people something else to do. So there's other options. There's people who aren't going to enjoy adventure mode the way that I do. There's people who were going to want to be able to, go in and do the PvP side of things. I was really kind of disappointed that they didn't have that split up to begin with. Because in games like DC Universe Online, just as an example, there is a player versus environment mode and a player versus player mode, and that makes sense. That way, if you don't want to get into this and just be constantly attacked or, have the risk of somebody actually coming over and attacking you and causing harm to you, you can play the player versus environment thing and actually play the story, look around, explore things, check out the dialogue, check out the lore without worrying about necessarily all the other players that are around. But there are people who really, really want to be able to do the PvP stuff too. So it just made sense for that to be split. Now, adding in the next game mode with this Battle Royale stuff, it's built with a story in that there is a computer system that has been tasked with finding a new overseer, and it determines the best way to do that is by having this sort of battle royale thing, and as you go along, you rank up, and by all appearances, you can do it both as in a 4-player squads or in a free-for-all type scenario. And like each time you win, it adds to your overseer status. I don't know if they have an in-game plan for that. If at some point there, you can actually achieve becoming an overseer or something, but like seriously, or if it's just an ongoing thing. But I would guess it's probably just pretty much that's a little bit of lore thrown in to try and make it make sense. Like Techno actually said earlier, he said, how will that make sense? That's basically what they're doing. They're using that little bit of story to try to make sense. For people who enjoy that, it's gonna, it'll give them a chance to do something different. I don't know exactly how they're gonna make it work with everything though. Like, how is their nukes? How is their these other features? They haven't really shown all that much gameplay for it yet, so we're gonna have to kind of wait and see on that one. I think, I think it's interesting, and I think there's, it does give people an opportunity to do something else, but everybody's doing this game mode, and even now, I can look on Discord and I can see Techno is playing Fortnite. They're not going to stop playing Fortnite to switch over to Fallout 76. And maybe Bethesda is hoping that, but it's not going to work that way. They might give it a try, but if it's as broken as Fallout 76 has been with some of its other releases, with some of the many, many glitches that they've had, they're not going to be able to keep people interested in that. So this is up to them as developers to make it work as soon as it is ready. Like as soon as they bring it online. They said in the fall. As soon as that goes online, it has to work. It's as simple as that. If there are any bugs, if people crash every time they, try to join the world, or they run into the issues where you can look at the ground and go super fast, or all these old bugs that were patched out that keep getting patched back in, it's not going to go over very well, and they are not going to be able to hang on to people for that game mode. There's a category of player that would love to play a Battle Royale game mode, but man, does it have to work when they launch it. Because those people, that come over from Fortnite to give it a try, they're not going to stick with it if it's a glitchy mess. They'll go right back to Fortnite. Like, you got to do something special there. But man, there's a lot of competition even in that field now. Because you have Fortnite, you have PUBG, and then you have all these other games that are trying to incorporate that. They wanted to work that into Battlefield. They wanted to work that into Call of Duty. All these other franchises are trying to incorporate it. That's a lot of competition. What's nice about it, and nice about the whole Smash, is that all of this stuff if you play the game, if you own, Fallout 76, it's free. It's free DLC. So if you've already bought it, why not? Why not give it a try? If you're into that type of game, go for it, Me, it's just not my style of gameplay. I just don't know that I'll ever play it. As far as the Elder Scrolls Online, like I said, I have a copy of it laying here somewhere in storage. Don't know that I will be taking it out to play it. As much as they've supported it, and as much as I know Neg1 over on the QCon forums has said in different discussions previously that they have largely made that game a lot more fun, and there's a lot more to do, and it's a lot of its kinks have been worked out now. It's been out long enough. I don't see myself really doing it, The same with Blades and Legends. I don't really do the card games, and I don't know that I'll play the mobile, version of Skyrim. I don't have a Switch, so, But I hope that some of this works as well as it is, because Bethesda really does need some new, good faith stuff. I can't help but notice that Todd Howard didn't spend that much time on stage. And Pete Hines basically introduced at the beginning and closed at the end. There's a reason that they did it that way. There's a reason that that's basically all that they said. Bethesda had, going into Fallout 76 and some of the recent stuff, they had a lot of goodwill, and they kind of blew it. They can regain it, but man, they've got to do better. And these games that they were talking about tonight, especially stuff like these updates to Fallout 76, they've got to make it work. They have to get that going before it reaches the players. You simply cannot rely on the community to beta test anymore. They've already blown what goodwill they had in that category. It's like I said, I know I come across some tonight. I've noticed it. I've felt it myself. I've come across as extra negative. But I like Bethesda. I like the games that they've got. I like, the Fallout franchise. I like the Elder Scrolls franchise. I certainly like the id side of things. Doom and Quake. But that actually makes it worse whenever they do something like they've done with Fallout 76, where it had such a bad launch, and it still just continues to have issues with bugs. Even though they fixed a lot, every time they patch something and reintroduce a bug, or they try to slip in a change without people noticing, and somebody catches them, that sort of thing, they've got to do better. As a company, their PR, Pete Hines, dude, you're in charge of their global marketing or whatever. You really got to do better. Got to get some talks going with some of these folks and find out, okay, what are you actually going to say, Todd, when you go into this interview? I'm optimistic. I liked what I saw. I'm definitely looking forward to Doom. I actually like what I see with some of what's coming this fall for Fallout 76. I do intend to go back to streaming that some more. It's just that I actually I've almost finished editing a second, the day 2 of my footage, and I can't remember if I got 3 or 4 days under my belt now. Plus, I've still got some GTA videos and some Saints Row 2 videos to edit before I start doing other stuff. And I'm really trying to get some of that kind of wrapped up and edited out before I go back and start streaming some of this and re-recording. I wouldn't mind even, like, I know Harbinger's talked about, you know, he has started playing some Fallout 76. I wouldn't mind getting a couple of our folks together and doing some of the Fallout 76 stuff, you know, with a group. Do a little bit of the co-op. But I don't mind doing it, you know, solo either. Frankly, it's kind of a good way for me to get the lore. I look forward, I cannot even begin to stress it enough. I look forward to the presence of human NPCs. I think it was a really big mistake to release that game without any human NPCs. Like, you know, even if you couldn't do that much interacting with them, just, you know, even if they weren't humans, even if they were just ghouls. Or, you know, more super mutants, like the guy that leads around Charlie the Moo Moo, you know, the trader. Those interactions carry so much more weight, and there's so many things that just don't make sense. There are people apparently walking around with their little holotape recorders. Well, today I went down to the market and I traded for some stuff, and I couldn't believe the trouble I ran into with Bob. Go over to Bob's house. Well, I was down at the market today, and Jerry came over and started picking a fight with people, and one thing led to another. And then all of a sudden, these things are, you know, 10 minutes long, you know, 5-10 minutes long. That's not a real great way to do story. Whenever you can actually talk to someone. Whenever you can actually walk up to a character and talk to them. That's one of the things that people liked about Rose, I think it is. The robot that's the raider. She had personality. You cannot underestimate the importance of having personalities in your characters, and that's really hard to do whenever all of your characters are meant to be automatons. They're in there, you know, and some of them have some really funny moments, but I am really glad that they're adding NPCs back, because that will breathe new life to that entire game. Just the fact that you will be able to go places and encounter people that aren't players. I think, based on what they said last year, they had in mind that people would get in and play the roles. So you would come out of the vault, and then you would decide, okay, I'm going to be a bad guy. And you would go off and become a raider and set up a camp somewhere in raider territory, and you would, you know, run around playing that role. And then other people would come out and say, okay, I'm going to be a farmer, and go set up a farm. And then other people were going to come out and say, okay, I'm going to be Brotherhood of Steel. So they go through the Brotherhood of Steel quest line and then play the role of a Brotherhood of Steel soldier, you know, a knight or a paladin or something. Some people do that, but the vast majority don't, because there are game objectives to complete. There's storylines to work through. Very few people are going to go out and become the merchant in the settlement. Honestly, building a bunch of buildings together, I haven't even seen, because it's not really a good idea. Griefer, that's just a griefer magnet, you know. It's an interesting idea, but the simple truth is, what people want to do is to actually get in and do the story. They want to talk to the characters and find out what's going on, and go and do missions. And when all you've got is some robots sending you back and forth on a fetch quest all the time, that doesn't work super well. So I'm really optimistic about that the Wastelanders update or whatever they're calling it, because that looks like that could very much give that game some desperately needed life. And it could really make for some entertaining stuff. I honestly could see that being so much more interesting. Now, the Commander Keen game, I don't know. I'll have to give it a try. It looked interesting. It looked like it could be fun. But it wasn't whenever they showed their little opening trailer bit, and they were talking about a Saturday morning, I was when they mentioned a Saturday morning cartoon video game, I was thinking about Cuphead. That's what popped into my head. And I was thinking, are they really making a Commander Keen game where you get to go through and play in that style and do the platforming stuff? It doesn't look like it. And so I was a little disappointed by that. But I will certainly, be interested in giving it a try. Because it did look like it had, some interesting possibilities. So overall, I'd say, this was a good show for Bethesda. I notice this is something that stood out to me about 2 or 3 different times throughout. Starting pretty early on, I noticed that they really, really toned down the silliness that they had last year in the previous years. They really toned down the little musical gaggy interludes and things like that, and coming up with all these transitions between one thing or the other. It was a much more straightforward presentation this year. And I can't help but feel like that's a result of some of what has happened in the past year. You just can't get past that. It's like I said, I don't mean to come across as negative as I maybe did, but they've got to make up some ground now. And I see with the Wolfenstein game, with Doom certainly, and with updates to, Fallout 76, and then some of these newer titles, this, I forget what it was called, Ghost something or other, and, whatever the other one was, good heavens, I've forgotten the titles of both of those games now. They have some interesting new titles to work from. But what stood out to me, I think, most on that is most of what I'm talking about are not actually Bethesda titles. There's id, Arcane, and I forget what the name of this studio was, the Japanese studio. Bethesda's side of things is kind of taking a little bit of a backseat. You notice they didn't mention Starfield, and they didn't mention Elder Scrolls 6. One, they probably didn't have that much to talk about on the subject. But the other is, after what has happened in the past year, that would be a very risky thing to do. Even if it was just a little teaser or something like that to put up, people are going to associate that with some of what happened in the last year. So I think, A, it was a smart move not to talk about it when they didn't really have anything to show for it. B, I think it really did. It is a result of what's happened in the last year. There's just, it's the elephant in the room. It's the thing that you cannot ignore. It's like I said, I went into last year, I was expecting some Fallout. I was expecting maybe a Doom title. I was excited. I was happy. They kind of bored me partway through, and then it started getting, more interesting, and then we got to see about Fallout 76 and a little something, little trailer for Doom and stuff like that. I was really getting into that one, and then a lot of bad things happened, a lot of sort of fumbled balls throughout the year. They have to make up some ground. There's just no way around it. But they have a lot of really, really promising opportunities. I want to see what they do. All that said, I think we'll wrap it up here. I have no idea how long I've been talking about this, but I look forward to several of these titles and several of these updates. I'm really hopeful. We'll see you next time, folks.